Hey guys, 47 here, and I'm going to give an introduction on strafe jumping. Before we get into it, you're probably asking, what is strafe jumping? Strafe jumping is utilizing your forward momentum while strafing back and forth, using your mouse to hit correct angles to either keep your momentum or gain momentum. So in this video today, I'm going to be going over circle jumping, strafe jumping, rocket jumping, and a few other tips and tricks to what you can do to kind of utilize your speed. Because there's plenty of ways to get to a cap speed, but the best is definitely circle jumping and knowing how to move in a straight line while strafing. And eventually you can do it backwards and stuff like that. But today we're just going to be focusing on the regular strafe jump. So enjoy the video. So if you notice the speed indicator in front of me, it goes up to about 300 here with kill, okay? As I turn around like that, you can see those numbers go up. Every time I make a turn, those numbers go up, okay? So they hit about 370. Now a circle jump is when you use that max speed to get your forward momentum, and you already start at a faster speed than if you were to just jump forward, see? Because that maintains at 300. If I jump this way, see, 370 already, see? And that was just from one jump. So what you're going to do is look almost 90 degrees. So if I'm here, you're going to line yourself up with a corridor like this, right? So you're going to turn and look into it, right? Turn, look into it. You're going to practice that. Just turn and look into it. What you want to do is strafe that way and jump at the same time. It's kind of weird to explain, so I'm going to show you. What you're going to want to do is, as you're moving forward, you're going to want to turn into that corner while simultaneously holding your strafe right button. So if you watch, and I'll slow it down, it looks something like this. And as you can see, I already hit a faster momentum than if I was to just strafe through here. So again, you want to like turn into it and jump, and you're already, well, I missed it. You want to turn and jump into it. See, I'm already at 500 there. So you gain a faster speed by, I like to call it leaning into the turn. And I think where people fail explaining this is, you know, when you ask a lot of Quake players, you know, what's a strafe jump? And they're like, well, I mean, you just look one way and then jump the other and strafe the same way that you're looking. But it's more than that. And I've come to find out while teaching people, another huge step, right, is once you get to this point, good God almighty, that's what happens when you lower your FOV. As you get to this point here, see, like, that's what... Now, if I were to explain to you why I wasn't picking up speed there, I can explain it now, okay? But visually, you can't tell what you're doing wrong. And trying to ask someone what you're doing wrong while strafe jumping is kind of a difficult question. So what I want to do instead is explain the fact that while you're jumping, the spacebar is just kind of a bad key anyway, but for those who use it, it's a tap mechanic. So as you're jumping, you're just tapping. So for instance, if you can't hear it, but it's, so when people are jumping, right, they're hitting spacebar like this, okay? But it's more like, it's a quick tap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strafe jump, and I'm going to tell you guys when I'm hitting my jump key so you can see how fast it is. Jump, jump, tap, 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 tap. Okay? Well, it's a little difficult to do because I'm explaining, but tap, 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 tap. It's just a quick tap, and I use mouse too. It's just a quick tap. A quick tap is going to gain you speed. If you hold that jump button too long, it's going to do more harm than good. So if I were to just hold it, like, so you can hold it and strafe speed, right? But you lose the control of being able to stutter step, and we're going to talk about that next. I explain stutter stepping a lot to people, and I'll explain that in just a minute. But what I want you guys to focus on is just that turn-in, okay? And jumping right at the peak of that number. So you jump, and then so you're already at a max number right there. See, I hit 700 at that. Okay. And again, it's just a tap. All right, so tap, 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 tap. You don't want to get in the habit of holding it in a VQ3 setting. You can on a straight corridor, but that's kind of more of a feel, and you'll understand that more as you do it. But for now, just tap it. Just learn to tap that key. So this is the bridge gap jump. And it's a pretty famous series of jumps that requires you to know precise aiming of your strafe mechanic in order to clear. It takes some people, quite a long time to complete just this very tutorial. You can't over circle jump or you'll overshoot part of the bridge, and too slow and you'll miss the fourth or fifth step. But I want you to take note of how I'm going to move the mouse, and I'll slow it down again so you guys can see. And then we'll go over a circle jump here in just a second. So as you can see, like I talked about, I lean into this turn, and that's just to pick up momentum to clear this gap. There are certain gaps that you can't make without circle jumping. So just take note of how I'm kind of turning into that and where I'm jumping, and then the motion of the mouse flow after that. And you can see I kind of straighten it out and then strafe the other direction. Just kind of follow that pattern, and you should learn how to do it relatively quickly. So here I'm just going to show you guys that you can strafe in multiple directions. So you can do it twice, to the right, or 3 times to the right, or 3 times to the left, or twice to the left, once to the right, twice to the left. It's used to make slight turns if you understand what's coming up in the map, but I don't want you to focus on that. And you can see what happens when I over circle jump, that I actually don't get enough momentum. But just practice strafing, one way, then the other way, and then a couple times one way and a couple times the other way, and it'll help your game out. So that's it for strafe jumping. It's, again, very difficult to kind of explain, so I tried to give you guys the best visual representation that I could for you to mimic. And hopefully having the directional arrows up and then you seeing exactly how it works will help you guys out in the future of your strafe jumping career. So we're going to go ahead and make this a 2-parter and kind of show you guys some tricks with rockets that will help you traverse the map outside of strafing. So stay tuned, and we're going to go right into that. So these are some clips you guys are going to see. It's not really much to go into. Everybody understands what a rocket jump is. What is important to know is that there are different types of rocket jumps. There is a distance jump, where you shoot a rocket at your feet and jump at the same time to get max height or distance if you do it behind you. There's a controlled rocket jump, where you jump and at the peak of your jump, fire a rocket at your feet or behind you to get same distance but not as much height. And there's just a regular rocket jump, where you fire at your feet, in front of you, or behind you to maybe get to, a platform that's not as high up, or you want to gain max speed, which you'll see in a couple of these videos. As far as using rockets to jump up and then off of a wall, and then you have over the shoulder to pick up max speed, and then you can shoot rockets through a teleporter to burst yourself through faster. That just comes with time. But focus on the main types of rocket jumping and see kind of what you can do with those, because they really do surprise your enemy at times, being able to get to a place they don't expect you. So if you know the 3 types of rocket jumps, implementing those is up to you on how you want to do that. So I don't want to go too much into that, but I hope this video was informative, and that if you guys got enough out of it. I tried to do it from kind of a realistic perspective rather than a perspective of, well, this is mechanically how you do it. I wanted to visually give you guys some representation of that. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. And if there's any other kind of videos you guys want to see to explain certain types of mechanics, I'm not the top pro Quake player in the world, but I have been playing a very long time, and I have no problem going over any of this stuff with anybody. So thanks for watching, everybody, and I hope this was informative and that you can take something away from this to better your arena FPS experience. I'll see you guys around.